you called me, and you let go of something really big. Now, your relationships are one thing. You've been going through a lot of this cancer experience by yourself, and your partner's come back into your life. At the most critical time, he's come back in, stepped up to the plate, and is helping out. And you guys have had a chance to dialogue on a whole new level. And what is it about expectation and about love and relationship, and where have you gone? And I mean, what can you share about that?
Well, I just realized today that I had this mistaken idea that I was the only one that had a story. That my side of the story was pretty much the only side of the story. Now that was a little subconscious, but I realized that it was there. There is another person who also has a story, who also had experiences. And guess what? I've got plenty of stuff that he got to live through. And lots of parts of me aren't easy to live with. So that was the first thing, that he had some needs about going over the past, and I didn't want to go over the past. I'd already gone over the past. Well, okay, there's two of us. Doesn't he have the right for me to go over the past with him one more time?
But wouldn't it be easy for someone going through a cancer ordeal to say, this is about me, this is my time? And there is some of that to that.
Yes.
So you had to balance that out, and you had to make a choice.
I did. But I thought, you know what? He showed up. I've decided not to make him pay anymore. Okay, if this is what he needs, maybe come on, maybe I'm going to need something from him. I mean, just a small example, he's just come from overseas, and I have an old car that I let him borrow. He doesn't have a car. It was no big deal. It doesn't take Mother Teresa to loan somebody an old car, but it meant a lot to him. And not in reciprocation, but he followed through with the financial thing that he promised to do for me. He didn't have to do it. I didn't even expect him to do it, but he did. So, first of all, it was about the story, that maybe he had some needs about our relationship. And why did I think I was the only person that could decide how many times we could go over the past? Who made me the judge of that? That is not right. I needed to be open enough, because he's in it too. What if I needed to go over something again?
So what did you get? You opened up the door for him to share.
Yes, I did.
And you got something.
I got something huge.
What did you get?
I got an area where I needed to forgive myself.
And you didn't find out until you were generous enough to allow him to share. Because he genuinely wanted to share. He just didn't want to unload baggage on you. He needed to clear.
Right. He wanted me to go over some things and tell him what I felt responsible for. That's what he needed. What did I feel that I was responsible for in this instance? You know, in relationships, there's always the money, and then there's always the love, and there's always the sex, there's always the stuff, all that stuff. And I had some really strong ideas about who was right and who was wrong, and he needed me to feedback to him about where I was on that. You know, did I feel that I had any responsibility when it came to XYZ? And so I was willing to do that. And then I realized that there was this whole area where I really had wanted to support him, and I didn't. And it wasn't that, it was just that I just didn't have a strength. I meant well. I wanted it to happen.
Did you support him when you had this conversation last night?
Absolutely.
And you supported each other?
Absolutely.
And you had something you'd never had before in your relationship?
Yes, we did. And he, to his credit, sat there and listened. He didn't just say, well, I don't want to hear about it now. Mm-hmm. You know, forget about it now. You know, no. His heart was open. He started crying.
You guys both gave selflessly to each other.
We did, and we both had open hearts.
And when it was done, something that was burrowing and living inside you was liberated.
Absolutely.
That's healing.
yeah, and he got validated in that he'd felt that way, but you know, you don't get what you always want in your relationship with the other person. I mean, come on.
Right.
But he got this unexpected gift. Oh my God, she gets it. She gets it. I did feel alone. I did feel not supported by her. And yeah, and so we both got this huge gift, and then we just sat there stunned in silence. Just
Because you selflessly both came to the table with your worries and your wares, and you laid them out kindly, and you healed each other.
and we were willing to say, and I, Linda, did this. I see that I did it, and I'm so sorry. I really wish it had been different. And it just opened up this whole new thing. I felt this huge weight, and when I looked at myself in the mirror, the pain that I had seen in my face had disappeared.
So you felt the weight just disappear.
Yes, yes.
So now